Thus ended the story of the old lion and the cunning jackal. Leonard learned to be more vigilant and careful in choosing his confidants, and Shere Khan paid for his lust for power and his begging intrigues. All the inhabitants of the forest could once again live and care for each other in peace under the trustworthy and wise protection of Leonard, the old lion who ruled the forest. The lion continued to rule the forest for many years, and his wisdom and strength made him invincible. The inhabitants of the forest respected him not only for his merits, but also for his ability to see through his enemies. Leonard then restored order to the forest and brought back peace and tranquility. He realized that you can't trust everyone indiscriminately and that villains can always melt behind you. One day, when they returned to the lion's den, Shere Khan took out his knife and attacked Leonard. But the lion was stronger and faster. He dodged the blow and tore the jackal apart. All the inhabitants of the forest were surprised by this turn of events, but Leonard explained to them that Shere Khan was trying to kill him and take over. Leonard was stunned by this discovery, but he didn't show his cards and proceeded with the plan. More and more evidence was piling up against Shere Khan, and Leonard knew it was time to act. One day, as they surveyed another crime scene, Leonard found the jackal's footprints. It became clear to him that Shere Khan was actually behind all the events taking place and was trying to kill him to take his plaque. However, during the investigation, Leonard began to notice strange details in Shere Khan's behavior. He began to suspect the jackal of having something to do with what was going on. But he decided to give him another chance and continue their search together. The jackal offered Leonard his help in investigating what was happening. The lion was grateful for his offer and agreed. Together they set off in search of the intruders. The jackal set to work and actively checked every corner of the forest. He found several rule breakers and brought Leonard a list of their names. The lion appreciated the jackal's work and was pleased with his diligence. One day, Shere Khan suggested that Leonard conduct an inspection of the forest to make sure that all the inhabitants were following the rules. The lion agreed to this inspection and sent Shere Khan on his way. Soon after, Shere Khan began to stealthily adjust himself to Leonard. He began to show up at meetings where important issues for the forest were discussed and actively showed his loyalty to the old lion. Leonard trusted him and began to confide in him more and more. One day, when the forest was once again plunged into silence, Shere Khan began to hatch a new plan. He decided to bypass Leonard and install himself in his place. Shere Khan studied all the habits and weaknesses of the lion and devised a cunning plan. One such inhabitant was a cunning jackal named Shere Khan. He always sought power and thought he was smarter than everyone else. Shere Khan often plotted plots against Leonard, but his plans usually failed because of the lion's wisdom. Once upon a time there was an old lion named Leonard. He had been the ruler of the forest for many years and was famous for his wisdom and strength. The animals of the forest respected him and feared him at the same time. Leonard was a fair ruler, but sometimes his decisions irritated some of the forest's inhabitants.